mon ami, and my heart is throbbing like crazy right now. The group's leader, Byakuya, got killed, and his killer is among this group of students? No, I'm not gonna believe it. I'll never believe it. 'Cause I believe in everyone. So do your best, and don't forget to save regularly.
Well, what now? If the knife isn't the murder weapon, there's no definitive proof that I'm the killer.
Shut up! We'll be the judge of that.
Well, he's not. It's not like he's lying there.
You say you were shoved away, but you can't actually prove it, right?
That's right. Even if a different weapon was used, it does not mean Nagito has been cleared of suspicion.
That's also true.
But there's another reason why I don't think Nagito is the killer.
There's still more?
There is still more.
Based on what we've discussed, Byakuya was killed under the table, right?
Is there something wrong with that?
Well, even if that's true, I feel Nagito looks, clean.
Nobody's ever complimented me on my appearance before. Not even my own mother.
Silence, Nagito.
I'm not talking about your looks.
Why does Mikon think Nagito looks clean? Well, there wasn't any blood on Nagito. He would have likely gotten blood on him if he had a little scuffle under the table with Byakuya.
I see! Are you trying to say something like, why didn't Nagito have any bloodstains on him?
Yes, that's it. Because under the table, there was a lot of blood splattered everywhere, right?
Yeah, you would have likely gotten some on you.
There were even bloodstains on the inside of the tablecloth.
Yeah.
If he stabbed Byakuya to death, it's strange he did not get splattered with an appropriate amount of blood.
I didn't get any blood on me? That is weird.
You just used something to block the blood, didn't you?
Something that might have been used to block the blood splatter. What do you think it could have been? I guess we did see something I could have used. Isn't that right, Hajime?
Yes, there's only one thing he could have used to block the blood splatter. Not that I think he used it, considering the circumstances, but it's a storage room tablecloth.
I can prove it with this! You're talking about the bloodstained tablecloth we found in the storage room, right?
If there are bloodstains on it, that settles it. Nagito used the tablecloth to block the blood splatter.
But how did he get the tablecloth? He didn't have it when he was in the dining hall, did he?
That was found in the storage room, right? Are you suggesting he hid it there after the murder?
That as well. Considering the blackout was still going on. If the blackout ended while words. If the blackout ended while Nagito still had that, then the case would have been blown wide open then.
You mean after the lights came back on? What would he have done if we'd seen him?
That's true. The tablecloth was pretty big, so even if you tried to hide it and take it with you...
Wearing a tablecloth, going under the table, hitting a knife in a blackout, and stabbing someone. That's not just impossible for someone like me. Wouldn't it also be impossible for you guys too?
Then, what does it mean?
It means Nagito is, for better or worse, not the killer.
Maybe the killer didn't necessarily stab Byakuya under the table.
Huh?
No, there's no mistake that the murder occurred under that table.
Even the inside of the tablecloth was bloody, so there's no denying Byakuya was killed there. But that doesn't mean where Byakuya got stabbed and where the killer did the stabbing are the same, right?
I don't understand at all!
The place where Byakuya got stabbed and where the killer did the stabbing are different?
Huh? Hajime, you look like you're onto something. Really? But it sounds like a riddle.
I feel like I'm onto something, but it's still not clear what that is.
Under the table, but not under the table. If it's somehow possible, it's the only way that makes sense. Moving forward, we should put aside all unnecessary preconceptions and just choose the answer. I think.
In scenes where you had to figure out important words, the improved Hangman's Gambit will occur. Yeah, improved in what way? The goal is to line up the right letters in order so it reveals a keyword related to the incident in question. Improved Hangman's Gambit is like a puzzle game. Various letters will be flying across the screen in all directions. There are 2 rules you must remember. 1. If different letters clash, you will take damage. 2. If 2 of the same letters clash, they will fuse. You must make 2 of the same letters clash, while you try not to let 2 different letters clash. This is what's most important. In order to do that, you've been given a technique to catch and release. When you move the reticle with the left stick and press the X button while it's on top of a letter, you can snatch the letter like a vacuum. This is what it means to catch the letter. However, you can only catch 1 letter at a time, so please be careful. When you press the X button while you have a letter caught, you can shoot it where your cursor is aiming. This is how you release the letter. Also, you can catch and release by directly tapping the letters. With catch and release, you can change the position of the letters and hit letters into each other. Make sure you hit the same letters so you can fuse them. The fused letters will freeze and get bigger. By pressing the X button or tapping the fused letter, you can blow up and erase it from the field. This is called firing the letters. Catch with the X button, release with the X button, and after you fuse them, fire with the X button. That's a whole lot of X buttons. However, if you just erase letters, you won't be able to clear the game. Ultimately, the main goal of improved Hangman's Gambit is completing the keyword. Display the question with the square button, and figure out what keyword will answer that question. About lining up the keyword, instead of pressing the X button to fire the letter, please press either the triangle button or swipe it. If that happens at the same time the letter blows up, it will be sent to the keyword list. If the sent letter is correct, it will fit in the keyword list. If not, the influence gauge will take damage. You must write the keyword in order based on the flying letters. Please think about the completed word. Also, if you leave a fused letter alone for a while, it will just blow up on its own. In that case, it will still damage you, so please be very careful. I took so long to explain it, but do you understand now? Press the start button during these scenes, you can review the controls. Well then, good luck, and have fun. The place Byakuya got stabbed and the place where the killer did the stabbing aren't the same. Using those words as a clue, I should put aside my preconceptions and try to think about it. Something is coming to me. Just a little bit more. I have a feeling I can see something. Welcome to most people's least favorite minigame, Hangman's Gambit, for the reason that it's incredibly tedious. Where did killer stab Byakuya from? So what I typically like to do is I like to leave letters on the board and like do nothing with them if I know I'm gonna need them later. So like, and every single letter you will use. So like the U we obviously use, the N we use, the T we're gonna use, the R we'll use. I'm just gonna clear away the board. So we have und. Fortunately, we can still hold circle to speed this up. Under. Ah, crap. 2 letters will always come at the same time, so usually what I'll do is send them away like that, if something like that happens. So that way they're ultimately really harmless to us. Oh, crap. That's what we need. R for later. You can also keep merging letters and make that bigger. If you want to, that is. Under the floor.
I got it! I got it! The killer must have stabbed Byakuya from under the floorboards.
Under the floorboards?
The floorboards in the old building are full of gaps, and there was no carpet laid out under the table. If they stuck the weapon through one of the gaps, they could have stabbed Byakuya to death.
If so, that means the killer was able to get under the floorboards. Where? And how?
I don't know that yet, but I have a feeling there's someone here who does know.
That's right. If I remember correctly, one person here should know how to get under the floorboards. One person definitely lost something under the floorboards, and by some means, they managed to reclaim that. And that person's you, Gundam.
You're the only one! Hey, Gundam, you dropped your earring in the dining hall, right?
Are you referring to the Hellhound earring?
About that earring.
I said, are you referring to the Hellhound earring?
About that Hellhound earring. You dropped it beneath the floorboards, right?
Ah, there it is. I have found it. Truly, that is the Hellhound earring. It seems God exists for my benefit. I see, good for you. However, how do I recover it? I cannot fit my arm through this opening. Were I to use a tool, it would probably not reach either.
Just a bit longer and I would have reduced everything, including that old building, to ashes. However, it's just as the old legend said. The Hellhound earring has returned to its owner, to me!
Is it safe to say that that earring is the one hanging from your right ear? Huh? Could it be? Gundam wasn't wearing an earring during the investigation. And if he had it on by the time the class trial began, then that means Gundam was able to retrieve his earring from beneath the floorboards during the investigation.
So, Gundam knows how to get under the floorboards.
It's understandable. After all, you fools only view the world through eyes of glass. But I am different. With the power of my 4 Dark Devas of Destruction, it is of no concern. Truly, this is the evil 4th eye. Before the might of the evil 4th eye, all visual chaos is rendered asunder.
What should I do? I'm embarrassed just listening to him.
Welcome to the club, Hiyoko.
Oh! Man up and speak more clearly!
Fine, I shall tell you all. The answer was in the storage room. One of my 4 Dark Devas of Destruction, Mirage Golden Hawk, Jumpy, has seen beyond the chaos. A secret passage of doom leading to the underground lurks beneath a large assortment of random boxes. After securing a lighter from the supermarket, I threw caution to the wind and ventured below the floorboards. And as a result of that lonesome battle, I was able to recover the Hellhound earring with my own 2 hands! Tremble with fear, fools! Behold my power!
There he goes blabbing about power and crap. You're ridiculous. You're just a breeder, you know.
Anyways, it sounds like you can go under the floorboards from the storage room.
And that has to be how the killer did it. If the space beneath the floor is empty, It's not that far to move from the storage room to the dining hall.
I see. If they passed through the storage room, I understand why the tablecloth was put there.
The killer lurked under the floorboards during the party, and from there, stab, stab, stab!
Are you sure?
You don't like stab, stab, stab? Should it sound more fleshy, like...
I don't think that's what he's talking about.
No, I'm not talking about your sound effects.
You're saying they snuck under the floorboards, but that means they would have had to leave the party, right? So, was there anyone who was able to do that?
Then whoever wasn't at the party is the killer. They must be the one who was waiting under the floorboards.
Who wasn't at the party again?
I didn't participate, but I was guarding the entrance, remember? Monomi over there can be my witness, right? Yes! This Monomi over here is your witness!
I believe there's no need to discuss this matter further, but I was unable to leave the bathroom.
I was in the kitchen for a long time, but I frequently went to the dining hall to deliver my dishes.
The only person who wasn't at the party... Judging from the photo I took before the blackout... It obviously has to be him.
Well, Fuyuhiko?
Yay! It's decided!
What the fuck are you saying? I'm not the killer!
Oh, really? What happened to the tough guy who was saying stuff like,
I can do it. Don't mess with me! I'll fucking kill you!
see? You're making threats again.
Yep, that's right. Things are starting to get exciting.
Good news, you're now allowed to use the silencer. You can use the silencer with the X button as many times as you want. When you use the silencer, you can shoot down the white noise. Also, when you shoot down the white noise, your time limit will increase a little. However, if you shoot an actual remark with your silencer instead of the white noise, the time limit will decrease, so aim carefully when you're using the silencer. I completely forgot to tell you one important thing. You are also allowed to use the rear touchpad. You can now tap the rear touchpad to shoot down the white noise. Oh, but if the difficulty is set to gentle, white noise won't appear at all. In that case, you'll still be able to use the silencer, but it'll be somewhat pointless. However, if you like doing a little bang bang, you can use it to your heart's content. Bang 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 bang. If you press the start button during these arguments, you can review the controls. Well then, good luck and have fun.
During the party, the killer was lurking under the floor like a cockroach.
And you could have stared at panties all day. Without going to the storage room in the dark.
Is that true, Fuyuhiko?
Don't act like I'm the fucking killer!
But when the party started, nobody saw you, you know? That means you have no alibi.
The culprit is self-evident.
The only person who doesn't have an alibi during the party is Fuyuhiko. But is he really the killer?
During the party, the killer was lurking under the floor. And they could have stared at Pan without going to the storage room. Is that true? Well, you don't act like I'm the fucking... But when the party started, nobody saw you.
You know, that means you have no alibi.
No, that's wrong.
One person can prove he was not at the party, and that's Chiaki.
No, Fuyuhiko definitely has an alibi. Isn't that right, Chiaki?
Oh, you're right.
Huh? What happened, Fuyuhiko? Oh, hey. What are you doing here? All alone at a place like this? I'm standing guard so Monokuma doesn't come inside. How diligent of you.
I saw Fuyuhiko after the party started. There's no way he could have been waiting under the floor before then.
You should have said that earlier, dumbass.
Well, at least her testimony got you off the hook.
It's still your fault. Like, why were you even lurking around the old building in the first place?
Shut up!
Maybe there really is a secret passage to go under the floorboards from outside. And he came to spy.
What'd you say, motherfucker?
Oh, no!
Not the reaction I expected, but Chiaki and Gundam were looking for a way under the floorboards, as I recall, and they found nothing.
Wow, he got chewed out, but he looks super happy.
Regardless, it's impossible to go under the floorboards from outside. Chiaki and I already confirmed that.
Yeah.
Then someone definitely went under the floorboards through the storage room during the party.
During the party. It was probably during the blackout. Well, if someone disappeared during the blackout, no one would have noticed.
But they'd have to act fast.
But walking down that dark hallway to the storage room is like trying to make Eggs Benedict without any eggs.
More or less.
You're right. I couldn't even see the office in that darkness, and that room was much closer.
But is it really impossible? It might be better if we examine that possibility a little bit more.
It was super dark, you know? There's no way you'd be able to find your way to the storage room.
I can't stop thinking about it. I feel like there's something I overlooked. For clarity's sake, once again.
It appears we're getting close to the final stage. The blackened or the spotless? Which is superior? I think it's time to settle this.
Danganronpa.